The road and the journey will appear once we start to walk it. And it is through your heart that journey itself will become the destination. You will understand that as this divine mirror, your journey of becoming is the medicine, is the magic, is where the presence itself will flow through you to help and serve and impact the people that you wish to impact. There will always be parts of you that are still behind, still in fear, still in pain, still in old thought patterns. And it will be here, as you upgrade as the divine mirror that you are, you must show compassion, you must show grace, you must show love to the parts of you that need to catch up. Welcome to the Divine Mirror, where we dive deeply into the journey of discovering your unique inner medicine. I'm your host, Harrison, and here we explore how each of us can become a force of healing and transformation simply by showing up authentically. Join me as we uncover the steps needed to be the cure that is you and the magic of being a true divine mirror for others. Let's step into this journey together. Your inner magical medicine awaits. Welcome, powerful heart, back to the Divine Mirror, episode 10, Becoming the Divine Mirror, the final stop, the bringing together of all the parts, all the pieces, all the steps of this beautiful divine mirror journey and transformation that we have been on together. I hope this experience has, at the very least, brought you some deeper understanding of the power, the magic, and the presence that you have always been. And today's episode is going to underline all of this, underline all the steps, underline the parts, and underline really now what is next for you as the divine mirror. Before I get to all of that, as always, I want to give a quick little recap of episode 9. If you did not tune in, definitely go back and listen to it, and definitely go back and listen to our previous episodes if you are just catching this one. This is a series to be listened to in sequential order. But again, if you missed it, episode 9, we talked about how to offer your unique medicine as the divine mirror, how to exactly offer, package, and not just step out beyond all fears of visibility and sharing, but really put together something beautiful of service as the divine mirror that you are. We talked about following your passion and light, serving from overflow through your offers, really letting go of the need to get another certification, creating empowering and safe containers, being real, raw, and authentic, calling to those who are ready, calling up to the perfect individual, prospect, and an individual that you wish to work with, who is the heart, who is the type of being that will receive the reflection of the mirror that you are, who will receive the medicine that you are, and which connects to the homework that I gave you for last episode, connecting into your perfect client, your perfect prospect, your perfect person that you wish to give your medicine and magic to, getting specific around what that person looks like, how does it feel in your body to be with that person, and connecting to the experience of being in loving medicinal service, being in loving medicinal flow with that person or group of people. And finally, I gave you another piece of homework to create a post, create a social media piece of content. So if you have not reached out to me still with those pieces of homework, you can still do so on my social media platforms at Harrison Ma, and I'd love to know how you went. Okay, so let's flow from there into today's final step of the divine mirror. And as always, I'm going to share a poem from my heart to yours that really highlights this final step of the divine mirror exploration and expansion. And this poem is called the coaster of life. The coaster of life begins with action, full of ups and downs and purposeful traction. Sometimes we're soaring divine in the sky. Other times we plummet in an unexpected why. The thrill of the climb, the rush of the fall. Moments of fear, our hearts hold it all. We hold on tight, we scream and shout as the twists and turns allow us to let it all out. The loops and the rings of life can be a crazy and emotional mystery. We never know what's waiting ahead or what surprises will be there, all instead. But in the ups and downs, we can find strength and resilience and peace of mind. We learn to hold on tight with ease and balance and find our way forward with our gifts and talents. So when the ride is over and fully complete, we can look back and see our joyful feet. And though we've had our share of pain and strife, we smile and say, we lived aboard the coaster of life. So in today's poem, it's very evident, especially if your heart is open to the teaching that the journey that you are on, not just as the divine mirror, but as the soul in soul school, seeking to expand, seeking to radiate its conscious understanding out into the field. That journey is one of ups and downs. That journey is one of twists and turns and the great unknown. And this is really a key teaching here that we can now bring in to the divine mirror journey that you're on, this divine mirror exploration of really incorporating more of the magic, the medicine, and the presence that is you in your world, especially if you are a business owner and spiritual entrepreneur. You want to expand your influence, expand your services and offerings, and again, the things that you wish to impact people with. We can hold this in our hearts and know that this experience should be one of complexity. This experience should be one of not just black and white, but the whole contrast and the in-between. So this is really the first teaching here as we go deeper into this episode today, the understanding that if we are to integrate all aspects and steps needed to be the divine mirror in this world and share our medicine and magic, that it will be one of beautiful complexity, or another way to say it, it will be a rainbow of experience. And as the sensitive soul that you are, you have the specific tools and techniques already inside of you, waiting to harness that rainbow, waiting to harness that complexity. Right? And I have given you a lot of these tools. I have helped you to understand a lot of these steps, right? I'll give you a quick summary of our journey thus far, right? Episode 1, we really talked about what this divine mirror is and what you have always been from the start. Episode 2, we talked about addressing limiting beliefs and the stories that play that stop us from harnessing our medicine, stop us from harnessing our magic. Episode 3, we underlined the need and the necessity for devotional self-acceptance on this journey. Because if we are to enter the world, we must first come home to the consciousness of love that we are. And that consciousness of love is soothing and healing for us and our shadows. Episode 4, we talked about how you can identify your unique medicine, your unique reflection as a divine mirror, because you are special. You hold a puzzle piece needed to fill the whole of the hearts of the people that seek you. And that puzzle piece is waiting to be understood and felt by you. So what is that unique piece? And we talked about tools to do that. Episode 5, we talked and discussed the importance of trusting your channel and trusting your intuitive guidance and allowing it to come through in an expansive way, right? Because we're all receiving intuitive insights. We're all a walking channel. But the question is, how wide is that channel? Question is, how expansive is that tap and flow? In episode 6, we talked about trusting. We talked about how to hold space for others, very important as this divine mirror, a very practical understanding of what it means to hold space. Episode 7, we talked about embodying authentic presence, this mirror that you are, this medicine and magic that is inside of you comes through as a presence that impacts the people, places, and spaces that you walk into. So how do we embody that? Tools and steps on that particular part of this divine mirror journey. Episode 8, the fear of visibility and overcoming it. A big one, I know, in my journey, a big one for you. If you're listening to this, we are very similar in many ways, right? And we all have this core fear of visibility. How do we move beyond that? Tools there for you. And last episode, again, was how to identify, how to offer your medicine. So the summary here to really show you that there are steps, there is complexity, and all is needed. You must remember that this is complex. This is a lot of things, and simultaneously, you only ever have to do one at a time. You only have to take the one step ahead of you, right? As Rumi said, the road appears once we start to walk it. So your journey here, your extended journey from this podcast, your extended journey from this episode and larger discussion as a whole, is to understand that you only ever need to take one step at a time. And if you can set the intention of only taking that one step with constant mindfulness, constant intention, constant compassion and grace and love for yourself, then the road will appear. The road and the journey will appear once we start to walk it. And it is through your heart that journey itself will become the destination. You will understand that as this divine mirror, your journey of becoming is the medicine, is the magic, is where the presence itself will flow through you to help and serve and impact the people that you wish to impact. This is key, right? This muscle of presence, this muscle of mindfulness, this muscle of reflection as the mirror that you are will continue to strengthen, will continue to deepen as you make the devotion and commitment to it. It will continue to deepen because it is already full. It is already large and big and vast beyond your knowing. But what changes is your perception of it. We've spoken about this. Your perception is the thing that grows. Your perception is this mindfulness muscle. So continue to come back to it. Come back to the practice and the devotion of it. Next here is really understanding as this divine mirror and the continuation of this journey moves on, you must embrace the messiness of this transformation, the continued messiness. As we alluded to a second ago, everything is involved. The complexity and the contrast of this earth school involves messiness and should be a part of your transformation. As soon as we start avoiding the messiness of us is the same point in which we cut ourselves off from what reality actually is. You are divine and equally messy. And in that messiness, your truth can be found. In that messiness, your medicine can be found. And that medicine is needed by the world, right? That medicine is what others will want through the reflection of the mirror that you are. So the key here, the teaching here, is to embrace the fullness of your messiness in all its forms, remembering that you are only ever stepping forward. And although it may feel like you are repeating certain cycles, there is no going backwards. There is unconsciousness, there is shadow, there are different forms of maybe the same lesson that you've been ignoring, but there is always progression. Your question to ask yourself is, how much are you embracing that messiness? How much are you open to going into that messiness? And that's really where it will change and shift, right? Which connects to the 2 stages of purpose. We spoke about this earlier. But again, just to summarize this here, your purpose along this divine mirror path as you continue is to remember that there will always be two stages of purpose. The first stage, coming home to the truth of what you are, this mirror, this medicine, this magical presence. And the second stage is tuning into how that reflection, that medicine, that presence, which it wishes to be shared uniquely out into the world. And when we get lost, when we get stuck, when we fall down, it's not usually because of the second stage. It's mostly because of the first stage. We are disconnected from what we are. We are disconnected from our unlimited potential. I often, in my own journey, that's where I fall down. I fall down because I forget what I am. I think I am the pain. I think I am the shadow. I think I am the limiting story or belief. And whenever I tune in with the tools, a lot of them I've shared with you throughout this experience, I come home to what I am. I come home to the allness of me. And then from that all full state, I take inspired action and creativity out into the world. And in this context today, again, if you're a spiritual business owner, spiritual entrepreneur, that intuitive creation will be your service, your offering, your gifts to the world. When we take deeper steps, so when you step out of this container, you make a commitment to be more of this mirror. Within the messiness we were just speaking about, there are also upgrades. But if you have done a lot of the tools and practices throughout this podcast journey, you have upgraded. You have stepped into more of your potential. And with that upgrading, there will also be parts of you that still do not feel ready. There will always be parts of you, despite how your world and life might be changing for the better. You step into more abundance, you step into more success, you step into more opportunities. There will always be parts of you that are still behind, still in fear, still in pain, still in old thought patterns. And it will be here, as you upgrade as the divine mirror that you are, you must show compassion, you must show grace, you must show love to the parts of you that need to catch up. And this connects to, again, the points in our journey where it will be hard, it will be challenging, and we want them to be there. That is where the teachings come from. But you can make the commitment now to, when those shadows show up in pain and they are holding on because you have transformed and they haven't, you can show up fully for them. You can take the time. Practically what this looks like is you may need a rest day. You may need a you day. You may need a day where you go out in nature, disconnect from technology and everything else, just to be with those parts that deserve your love and grace. So this is often why I spend a lot of my time now traveling and moving around the world, not just because it's part of my values and what excites me, what ignites me, but also because it allows me to move out of my comfort zone and it allows me to be in new spaces and places to really hold the parts of me that are still in fear, hold the parts of me that are still in pain, and also be in a nourishing environment. Right? I spend a lot of my time not just around the world, but in the nature of the world, in the different settings and environments that are conducive for nourishment, conducive for giving grace to those parts. So something you can do also. You don't have to travel the world, but you can go out of your current familiar box of where you live and be in nature, be in the world, but do it with the intention of being with these parts, being with these uncomfortable pieces that are holding on. Next, part of this extended divine mirror journey is also becoming aware and knowing that the divine mirror will always need help, will always need reflection, support, guidance, a network. And we talked about this in the last session in terms of coaches need coaches and healers need healers, but this is a bit bigger. This is bigger than that. It includes that, and it's an understanding that this journey is not meant to be one of isolation. This journey that you are on is not meant to be one of a singular pursuit. So as you expand your reflection as the mirror, the medicine and the magic and the presence that you share with the world, know that you will attract people of your same frequency or more expansive to support you, to help you, to keep you accountable, to have someone to reflect back to, right? You aren't just here to support people as the mirror that you are through clients or through friends or through people that you're serving. You're also here to reflect people outside of you that are here to help you grow, to help you expand, that are as mentors, as teachers, as gurus, as guidance counselors. So a tool in itself, a teaching in itself, is allow this help in, allow this love in, allow the network and the impact of yourself through other people to come into your world, and the creativity and the magic that comes with that, which connects to one of the last teachings here for today's episode, allowing yourself to recognize as you expand more in your reflection as the divine mirror and you continue your journey, recognizing the ripple effect of your presence. It can be easy, especially as we talked about moments ago, it can be easy to feel like our presence, our magic, our medicine isn't being received or isn't doing the thing in the way that we would like it. Our mind, our ego comes in and it co-ops our journey, our progression, and again, limits how we think or where we should be. And it's here I encourage you with the teaching that as this mirror, you can stop, you can look around you, you can hold gratitude and appreciation for just how much of an impact you are actually making. And we often don't see this unless we stop and pause. We often don't see this unless we stop and reflect. So take time to do this. Take time to see the people that you are supporting. Take time to truly see how your work, how your medicine, how your magic is impacting the lives of others. And allow yourself to honor this. Allow yourself to celebrate in this and to see and feel, mostly feel, the ripple effect of the presence and the loving medicine that you give the world, because this is important. And when we stop and be with all of this, it will expand. This in itself is an amplification of that which you want to share. So I'm going to bring all this together today and ask you finally here within our final episode for some last pieces of action items and homework to take with you on this journey as a divine mirror. Firstly, I want you, around all of these steps today, in all of these teachings, I want you to create a routine around these steps. Create a devotional, loving, a grateful, appreciative routine in which you implement these into your week to expand your mirror, to consistently help you to come back to the truth. And this routine can include a lot of the homework we've talked about in other episodes, or maybe some other practices you're already doing. But the key here is to create a routine, create structure in which your mirror can reflect and shine brightly. Homework piece number 2 is start to generate more of this network for accountability, network of people in your world that are other mirrors, that are other practitioners, there are other spiritual business owners or entrepreneurs or people looking to share their magic and their medicine in a particular way. Start building a network, even if this is just an accountability buddy, even if this is just someone that you can talk to every week to maybe share the struggles and the challenges and the the continued journey of reflection that you are both on. And homework number 3, and we just spoke about this, but I'm going to underline it here for you, is I want you to celebrate yourself. I want you to have a moment of ceremony around celebrating all of what you are, not just this mirror, not just all of these steps and these parts of the journey we've been on, but celebrate everything that you are and what you are expanding into. Celebrate and show some devotion for all of what you are. Because again, this devotion, this self-acceptance is the key. So one final time on this mirror journey, allow yourself to be with that. Allow yourself to be in devotional self-acceptance for just how reflective, medicinal, and magical your mirror is and everything that it's opening to. All right, beautiful being. I'm going to close this container of this divine mirror transformation with 2 things from my heart. Firstly, if this divine mirror experience has really brought you value and guidance and insight, I'd love to know, not just around the homework, but in general. So please reach out to me. And I always love to hear reflections and experiences of any kind of teaching or journey or transformation that I'm able to support people with. Within that, also realize that this coaching divine mirror container of this podcast today can also be extended, can also be dived deeper into. So if you're listening to this and you are specifically a spiritual entrepreneur or spiritual business owner that's looking to share your medicine in more purposeful and impactful ways, definitely reach out to me on social media, and you can apply for one of my 3-month container slots that is specifically designed for a deep, intensive journey into not just this mirror that you are, but specifically how do we apply it to your business? How do we apply it to your unique gifts and talents? How do we amplify your voice on social media and everything in between? So this is application only. It's not for everyone, but it is for the right person that is ready to step in. So if this hits your heart and you have resonated with a lot of the teachings in this divine mirror exploration, then it's most likely for you. So you can reach out to me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or TikTok at Harrison Ma spelled MEAGHER, and we can talk about those first steps. Finally, today, I want to share some gratitude from my heart to yours in this 10-episode experience, transformation, having you receive my divine mirror, my reflection, my presence and medicine has been an honor and has been something that excites my soul and excites my heart. So I'm celebrating you. I'm holding gratitude for you. And I know whatever step you take from this podcast experience, this divine mirror journey, whatever step you take from here, I know it's going to be magical because you are magical and you are the medicine that this world needs. So shine that light, express that presence that you've always been. Until we chat again, I send you love and keep shining beautifully. Thank you for joining me on this episode of The Divine Mirror. Remember that this journey of unlocking your inner medicine doesn't have to be done alone. If you're ready for personalized guidance, reach out to me for one-on-one coaching, and let's walk home along this path together. I'd love for you to share also this episode with friends and loved ones who might also find inspiration along this journey. And don't forget to connect with me on social media to share your reflections and insights and the outcomes of your homework from each episode. I can't wait to hear how your inner transformation unfolds. And until next time, keep shining and embracing that beautiful mirror within you.